What's up, freedom lovers? Welcome to Life Short, Live Free, and today we are going to be reviewing the IWI Masada. Stay tuned. Alright, so this is just one of those guns. I hadn't heard much about it. I saw it online and decided it was pretty awesome, so I went and did a little bit of research on it. Liked everything that I was seeing. So I figured I had to have it, so here we are. But initially, I mean, when you first pick this thing up, it feels really solid. It's just so far I'm really loving it. So a few specs on the things. It is a 4.1 inch barrel, 17 round magazine. A very nice trigger actually. It's about 5.5 to 7 pounds. I'll get more in depth on that in a bit. It is fully ambidextrous. You got ambidextrous mag releases as well as slide releases or slide locks. It has removable, exchangeable back straps. So if you got different size hands, you can swap them out to whatever size works for you best. It's got rear and front serrations, which I am a huge fan of. We do a lot of competition shooting, so you're always going back and forth, press check and stuff. It is a striker fired pistol, of course. It's got a 1913 Picatinny rail on the front, and the actual the serialized part of this is not the lower. It's actually the trigger pack, similar to the SIG P320 that they made that pretty popular. And the really cool deal on this is this is an optics ready version, so you can go ahead and slap a red dot on there and you're good to go. So yeah, let's dive in a little bit. The first thing that I noticed when I picked this up is the grip. Now it's not a real, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's not extremely aggressive. It's nowhere near as aggressive as like a M&P 2.0. It feels really nice on the hand, but it's certainly, I would personally like a little bit more. It grips fine when you have dry hands and everything. You can get a great purchase on it, but it's not quite as aggressive as I would like to see. Possibly if I do a ton of shooting with this down the line, and use it for competitions or something, I may get it stippled or something like that. But I mean, for the average person, it's going to work fine for you. It feels really nice, so I can't complain too much about it. The other thing that I really like is that it's not really a beaver tail, but that gets your hand really up high and tight in there, but it also protects you from any slide bite issues. Now, I was recently changing my grip around, and on my Glocks, which I'm a self-admitted to Glock fanboy, but I ride up so high that it doesn't really, it gets a little bit of wear on there, not really slide bite, but that's not going to happen on something like this. So I do really like that. I mentioned the front serrations. I really like front serrations just because, especially when you have like a red dot on or something, it's easier just to grab up there if you're doing a quick press check. If you're doing competitions, which we do a ton of just between us, but it's nice, before you start a match, just a mental thing. I like to, double check. So that's kind of nice. What else we got going on? The trigger. I do really like this trigger. Now, it is slightly, I'll see if I can show it to you here. So there's take up, there's the wall, break, and I'll show you the reset. The reset is a little bit, just a hair longer than I like, but it's really audible. You can feel it, which I do really like. So overall, I would rate the trigger, as far as straight from the factory, it's an extremely nice trigger. I got no qualms about it, other than the recess is a little bit long, but I can deal with that. But yeah, straight from the factory, that is a very nice trigger. I can't complain about it at all. I have shot this a little bit. I'm going to shoot it a little bit more here coming up, but overall I'm extremely impressed with that. So yeah, about 5.5 to 7 pounds. just I dig it. It's a nice, feels nice. I dig everything about it. So the other thing about this is this trigger is, the trigger pack is actually the serialized part of the gun. So you can take this out of the frame, and this is just a hunk of plastic. It's no longer a firearm according to the ATF. So theoretically down the road they will be putting out different frames for this, similar to what SIG has done on the P320. But personally, I really like this frame, everything about it. Maybe if they came out with some more aggressive texture on them or on the frames here, I might go for it there. Now, as far as the back straps go, I like the way it feels, so I don't have to, swap anything out. But like I said, they are interchangeable back straps. So if you got a little bit bigger hands, you may want to put a little bit wider ones on there. I like the way it is now, so I'm not even gonna swap them out. I dig how it feels. So there also is a loaded chamber indicator on your extractor here. I don't know if you can see that, but just the side there, which personally, I mean, those don't mean anything to me. I don't know why people get all excited about those, because you should always treat a gun as it's loaded anyway, and I would never take the word for it's not loaded just because I don't see that. So, it is what it is. I guess if you like that sort of thing, whatever, more power to you, but I don't see the point. Overall, I'm really digging the gun so far. See if I can show you these sights on here. I don't know as if my thumb's in the way. I don't know as if you're going to be able to see those sights, but they're definitely a little bit tall. But they don't, I really like them. You can acquire quick and easily on them. And I think maybe they went a little bit taller just because of the red dot. You can put them on a red dot up here, but I don't think they're tall enough that it's really going to matter. You won't be able to co-witness through them. Which leads me to my next point. We're going to talk about this red dot cutout here. Now, if you can see that is a polymer plate, which is not a big deal. It's just a cover plate. But the problem with that is their mounting plates that they got, say if you got like a Vortex Venom, you put one plate on there. If you got an RMR, you put another plate, whatever. But the problem is those plates are polymer as well. So you're going to be mounting your red dot, your extremely expensive red dot, on a polymer plate, which I'm not really keen with. I would rather either mount straight to the slide, or at the very least have a metal plate in there that it's attached to as well. Now, I don't speak from any experience on that point, but it just seems to me that if you're really putting the gun through its paces, and say you have to, for whatever reason, you have to rack the slide with that red dot, and you got a polymer plate on there, it doesn't seem to me like it's going to be holding up the best. But that's just my personal opinion, and that will be something that we should do a little bit of testing on, certainly before you use it for duty or carry use. But that's just my thoughts on the issue. So anyway, we're going to get out there and do a little bit of shooting with this sucker, put a few hundred rounds through it, see how I'm liking after I get some more trigger time on it, and we'll come back and give you my final thoughts after that. put a couple hundred rounds through this thing. I did have a few issues. The biggest one was my point of aim to the point of impact. It was shooting about 4 inches low, no matter what I did. You know, I'd line up the sights like I do, you know, and every time it was about 3 to 4 inches low. You know, a nice ragged hole there, but it was always shooting low. So I don't know if it's something to do with. I have no idea yet. I haven't messed with it enough to figure out why it was doing that. But just something to be aware of if you buy this yourself. It might not even be an issue with you, I guess. It may just be the way that I was viewing the sights, or something with the sights, or something with this specific gun. So don't know what the deal with that was, but yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Actually, I'm putting a red dot on the thing, so that's not really gonna be an issue in the future, I guess. It's just gonna be a range toy for me anyway. So anyways, the rest of my thoughts on this. Love it for this price point. It can be had around 450 bucks. Now, as compared to like a you know, a Glock 17, somewhere in, you know, similar guns, similar size, capacity. You know, a Glock 17 is going to go for around 500 or 550 to 600 bucks. You know, somewhere in that ballpark. So, you know, something like this, a more affordable option that's still a quality weapon you're not going to have any issues with. IWI is a quality company. They've been putting out good guns for good weapons for a long time. So if this is more in your price range, I wouldn't hesitate to grab it. That being said, there's a few things that I don't particularly love. Number one being the long reset. That got me a few times when I was out shooting. I ride the reset really heavily on my Glocks. And there was a few times when I didn't let it go forward enough and grab that reset. So when I, you know, went to pull the trigger again, I ended up with a dead trigger. Now, that's something that can be easily, with training, you know, easily trained out. So that's not a big issue. It's just I don't really love it that much. But like I said, the rest of the trigger, it's a great trigger. So you can rest assured that you'll like it if you get it yourself. The other thing is, of course, the polymer plates. I'll have to do an update on that sometime down the road after I get a red dot on, and we'll see how it's reacting to those. And lastly is the grip, the texture on this grip. I just wish it was a little bit more aggressive. It feels nice right now in the hand, but I do wish it was just a little bit more aggressive. But there are ways to alleviate that, things you can do, so I wouldn't let that stop you from buying the gun. Also, if I forgot to mention it earlier, this does come with 2 17-round magazines, not 3, so just something to be aware of as well. But yeah, overall, for this price point, excellent gun. It feels great, it shoots great, other than the issue that I was having with the point of aim, point of impact problem. But that's something that I'm sure I could figure out. So yeah, rest assured that if you buy this, you're going to be fairly happy with it, especially for that price point. You guys, thanks for watching. If you got comments or questions, make sure you comment them below. I'll get back to you. And if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, let me know, and subscribe if you're not subscribed to us already. Every week we're putting out content, so go and check some of that other stuff out that we've done. And yeah, thanks for sticking around, guys, and until I talk to you next time, remember, life's short, live free. God bless.